Francis, you've had a Taco Bell?
I've heard of Taco Bell.
Have you never had it?
I've had it. I thought you said have you heard of it.
Are you a fan?
Nah, back in my college days. Jason, I just come off the back of a trip where I ate the most authentic tacos that I just cannot even imagine.
Are you saying that?
Salivating.
I'm just saying the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah, in college that was one of my favorites. Yeah,
it's good to go.
Is it a quesarito that you get there as well? Do you have to,
usually you have to add either Bel Grande to it or Supreme to it.
Let me just put it this way. Taco Bell over Del Taco every day.
Oh, there's no argument over that. Don't even come at me, internet. I dare you. Here's a story. Indianapolis 500 pole sitter Scott Dixon and former IndyCar Series driver Dario Franchitti were robbed at gunpoint at a Taco Bell drive-thru Sunday in Indianapolis, according to a police report obtained by ESPN. Dixon and Franchitti were robbed around 9:40 p.m. local time at the restaurant, which is located less than a mile from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hours earlier, Dixon set the fastest qualifying time in 21 years there. And lastly, 2 males, ages 15 and 14, were arrested, according to the police report, both charged with robbery, while the 15-year-old was also charged with resisting law enforcement, because of course we want 15 and 14-year-olds pointing guns at people. Jesus Christ. One of their teammates, Tony Kanaan, who I think is pleased, I don't know if this is true or not, but he's one of the IndyCar drivers that I've heard of, had this to say about the incident itself.
After such a wonderful day at the track, get robbed at gunpoint, get a gun pointed to your head, buying a $20 meal, it's kind of scary. You know, you never think that will happen to us here.
He also continued to say, obviously I'm glad they're okay. Now obviously I can make fun of them big time. Who gets robbed at a Taco Bell?
I know.
Honestly.
He made the point. A $20 meal, like, it's one place you don't expect to have someone to look to hit targets as well, because you're not expected to have, you're not expected to have a lot of money on you when you're going to Taco Bell. You can buy a full meal for like $3.
Seriously.
So I was like, give me everything you have, and you're like, I'd be like $2.99 exact change.
And they're like,
what do you want?
We'll give you 4 tacos Bel Grande, 3 Crunchwrap Supremes, and a churro.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it. But it is a serious issue. I mean, the fact that the age of these kids is, it's stunning in a way. It's you don't want to imagine anyone at that age. When I was that age, I was out playing football. That was my daily routine. I'm sure you were out synchronized swimming.
Yes, big fan. So look great in a Speedo.
But you don't imagine that you're going to be going out and looking to rob people. But that's an unfortunate reality that happens. But at least no one was hurt. That's the only way to take it the positive
yes,
route.
no one was hurt. That was positive. Chip Ganassi sent out a tweet saying, there goes that Taco Bell sponsorship we were working on, I guess, and tagged Scott Dixon, Franchitti, and Emma Davis Dixon. The only thing I'm concerned about with this one is they were robbed at a Taco Bell, not by the Taco Bell. Yeah, so, like, to me in this case,
gonna do with it?
Well, yeah, I was just saying, it's not Taco Bell's fault in this situation. It would be like if you catch your wife cheating at Home Depot and you're like, that's it, I'm only going to Lowe's.
Like, I mean, you think about it. If you caught your wife cheating at Home Depot, you wouldn't go to Home Depot again, because it would just remind you of the pain.
But look,
you wouldn't boycott Home Depot, like, and try to get people to not go there, but you would be like,
you'd call,
do I go to Lowe's and get my plank of wood, or do I go to Home Depot and imagine my wife getting railed over the plank of wood? I'm gonna go to Lowe's.
Fair point, fair point. And then also, in a much sadder story in regards to auto racing. Is that that's the
this is an unfortunate.
Nick Hayden, and there's a couple tweets sent our way about this. And again, guys, we don't cover motorsports, we don't cover auto sports for the most part. So forgive us when it comes to the coverage of it. But Nick Hayden dies from injuries suffered in a bicycle crash in Italy. Former MotoGP world champion Nicky Hayden died in hospital on Monday, 5 days after he was hit by a car while training on his bicycle. He was 35. The hospital in Cesena, where Hayden had been since the collision last Wednesday, made the announcement and had several severe cerebral damage and multiple traumatic injuries. A really sad story, a career spanning from 2003 to 2016 with Honda and Ducati.
I mean, regardless of whether or not you cover the sport or you know it extensively.
Sad day.
Someone 35 years of age and a bike accident, it's awful. And I obviously I'd heard of Nick Hayden just simply because of being a champion before, but that is, it's always such an awful thing to hear when it's someone so young. And imagine just doing something that everyone does quite often, riding a bike in an awful accident hits. So yeah, I think it's an important one to message. I don't think you need to have the extensive knowledge of the history to pay tribute to someone who was a sports person who just suffered a horrible injury.
Yeah, that's we rest in peace. Our heart goes out, and you know there's a lot of good Twitter mentions about it. So On the notes of auto racing, there is your clip. TYT Sports on Twitter, at TYT Sports. Francis M. Maxwell. Right?
You got it.
Jason M. Rubin. No, I'm just kidding.
Your middle name's Muriel.
Malpert.
Malpert. Well, I didn't even know that was a name.